So the day before the Bloody Rose, I did my first ever collegiate mountain bike race. That was down in Southern California, and we drove back all night so I could make it to the Bloody Rose. I had met the promoter of it, and he was interested in sponsoring me for the future, so he really wanted me to do his race. Showed up that morning, still just wasn't feeling 100%, but was feeling all right. I thought I was pretty confident I could do it and do a good job. But race started, we started climbing. I felt awful right off the bat. Wasn't doing good. I was struggling to hold on to everyone. Made it about. Basically, I made it the entire way with the group. I made it. Well, I broke away with probably 3 or 4 of the guys. We were off the front, and I stayed with that group the entire time, struggling to stay with them, but stayed with them all the way, pretty much all the way to the top. It's a 12.2 mile course, a little over 4,000 vert. It's just straight up, basically, and I made it probably a quarter mile from the finish line when I just couldn't even stay on my bike. I absolutely was done. I basically collapsed on my bike on the side of the trail. Everyone just kept going by me. I mean, I could see the finish line right in front of me. That's how bad it was. I couldn't make it to it. I didn't really know what was wrong at all. I eventually, I stayed there for probably like 20-30 minutes, just waving people by, saying I was fine. I didn't want to ruin their race, and I wasn't really scared or anything. I knew something was obviously not good. I wasn't sure what it was, but ended up just hopping back on my bike and just coasting back down the hill eventually, back down to the highway, where we crossed the highway, and was taken from there. My parents picked me up there and took me in to find out what was wrong. So basically, I went in. I sort of explained everything that happened to them. They were like feeling around my abdomen, and they're like, which I thought first of all, I thought that was really weird. That I told them everything that was wrong, like what I'd been feeling like prior to it and everything, and then so they started feeling around my abdomen, and I thought that was weird. I had no idea why, and then they started asking me if I had like so I'd been having like pains in my abdomen region over like the last couple weeks prior to it, and I actually had for like months prior to it, and so like, well, that's like first we want to get you tested for mono, see if you had that, because that is what causes your spleen to inflame. So they tested me for that, and found out I had mono, and that's what caused my spleen to inflame so much, and then which caused my injury at the Bloody Rose, and so then from that, once I established that I had mono and all these other things were going wrong with me, that's when I found out, well, down the road, that eventually led to me finding out about everything from my gluten intolerance to, really learning everything about gluten intolerance, because I found out I had the gluten intolerance after I was diagnosed with mono, and the weeks after that, I'd been getting sick on the bike before that, and then weeks after I'd continue to be getting sick, and it was actually that severe viral infection from mono that sort of triggered the symptoms from my gluten intolerance to make it worse, and so that's what sort of led me down that entire road towards the gluten and everything. They basically told me that I couldn't do anything for about 6 months because of how delicate really my spleen was. Everything from driving a car was sort of risky because of how big it was, because of how long I had sort of let it go and just sort of trained through it, and so it just got really big and really inflamed and really delicate. So I couldn't. They said basically to not do anything. No riding, no racing, no exercising, no doing myself, nothing. So that was, that's the first time in my entire life I'd ever done anything like that. I've raced motorcycles since I was 4 years old, and just started mountain biking 2 years ago, full time this year. But at the time of the Bloody Rose, I wasn't even doing it full time. I was just using it as training for motorcycle racing. But yeah, so not being able to do anything was, it was completely new to me, and it was not a fun experience. It was a long 6 months. It was a dark 6 months. there's nothing geared towards athletics out there that's gluten-free. So that's what inspired Get Real Nutrition, inspired me to create the bar. I started the youth team for a couple reasons. I wanted to do it for a while. After I got into cycling, it's such a hard sport that you can't be successful on your own. Well, I mean, you can, but it's very rare. If you're not doing it right, it's not going to be fun with how hard it is. So you need so much support, especially as a young rider. You need so much support and help to do it right and to learn it right. And that was something I was really fortunate with, all the people that I had that helped me out. And there's despite all the awesome trails we have here and awesome riding, there's such a small youth community that actually mountain bikes, and a big part of that is because of the lack of support. Like Northern California, they have hundreds of junior cycling teams and thousands of junior riders because of it. So it's something I wanted to do because of that. And then when I started to Get Real, we had a really limited advertising budget. So I figured that the most cost-effective advertising, as well as like the most beneficial thing for the area, would be a start a youth team. So it's sort of it was a 2-for-1 type of thing, and started basically right after I started the company, and it really took off. And it's done huge things for the community and for the kids here, and it's done huge things for the company, helping us with advertising, getting the name out there more. Basically, Get Real Nutrition and everything that it's about, sort of. I mean, really, like it's not just like my company. It's sort of it's basically my lifestyle. I mean, everything that is Get Real Nutrition is a part of my life. I sort of incorporated all of these things together. From the junior team, the junior team benefits the company, which then the company benefits the junior team, and then all of my racing and riding. I mean, this is what I do, and this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. And so all of my racing and riding also benefits the company, which then benefits the junior team. So the better I do on the bike, the better the company does. The better the kids do on the bike, the better the company does. And the better the company does, the better the kids can do, and the better I can do. So all three of those things really work together, and as each one improves, they all improve.